Hello?
Hello,
Hello.
hello,
Hello?
hello, yay.
Hello.
Sweet.
We're alive.
Hey guys. Are we
Let me
live?
make another announcement too.
Yeah. Let's see. As people start coming in, who's in Discord right now? Couch Potato say, I'm waiting due to no one's talking. Yeah, we had some technical issues. I think that you guys can hear us now, right?
I'm hearing massive echo.
Really? I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
Are you in the stage as well?
Wait, do we need to go to the stage? No, I see Paul there.
Okay. Good. Yeah. No, I had jumped on the stage. I was hearing double Pablo. So double discussion.
Okay. So, hey, Seahorse, and yeah, we have some issues. Please go, to the stage. Who else is here? Red Fox 78, welcome. The CGN Citizen X. Music. No for lunch saying, wow, the music. What music? Are we running some music? Mr. Tech Guy? Okay, got it.
Yeah. Does someone have to start the stage? I've never done YouTube directly to the stage before.
M. Allen says he's in the stage now. Are you guys hearing us on the stage?
Can you hear music in the stage? No music. Okay, cool. I think we're good to go. So,
All right.
welcome guys to the August 18th AMA. So we started this last year, July. We need to share what's going on with everyone, with the game, with the team, the community, answer questions, share news. We like to walk the talk. So, hey Mugiwara, welcome, Biaro, but somehow you say your name. Yeah, that's cool. So, hey, Farmer Mitchell, we should get started. We're some minutes late. So, what's up?
Let's see here. Let's start by talking about. Wow, I'm lost. Gala Chain.
Gala Chain.
Yeah.
Gala
Is
Chain.
there anything you'd like to repeat about it?
It's called Gala Chain.
Okay.
So
Gala Chain is the name.
It's the chain formerly known as Geary. Now it's Gala Chain.
It's Gala Chain.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Remember, guys, that's the name. That's the final name. So Gala Chain. It's moving forward. We are working on it. We have a little update on that. Jason, actually, something to say about this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Work in progress. Of course, the Townstar team's working closely with the Gala Chain, or we just call them the Chain Team, and lots of interesting tech going on. We're building tests for all of our internal tools. You can imagine as you run the chain, you got to do things like, well, I got to define a token. Now I have to grant it. Now I have to validate that my definition was good. And we're also looking into things like the nightly reports, dashboards, all that good stuff. And then, of course, integrating it with Townstar. So nice work in progress. Pretty hopeful about it. Positive. It's relatively straightforward work. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually working on that yesterday. This is very brief, but we were discussing how to integrate the box collections. Right, so that's work in progress. I know that there are some questions around that, but yeah, that's coming too. Okay, so what's next in our headlines?
Let's talk about mobile for a bit. How's mobile going?
I love it, but I have an Android phone, so it's like the ultimate version of it. It works great.
Yeah. Yes. The understanding here is that Android's kind of winning the war on in terms of support for the Godot engine and Townstar. iOS, some people are reporting that the graphics are a little less than crisp. Up next, in terms of mobile, we're talking about remote loading of assets. That'll allow us to make it so that when we do build the actual apps from the store, we can just deliver you the new 3D content right now we're focusing on the JSON files, the other data, maybe some in-game graphics, and that it's very convenient to bake it into the client. But eventually we'll be remote loading that stuff, so you won't have to download a new app version every time.
So that remote loading, that ties into something we're going to talk about later, right?
Yeah, it does.
That might be of interest to some people who have bought, certain products here. So that's good. And then next up is we have the light paper. Oh, we're going to talk about that a little later. But yeah, we have some information on light paper. And Michelle, what about our town burn to Gala? When is
It
that
ends
up?
September 15th. If you haven't done it, definitely do it. I did have someone reach out to me this week to ask me how to do it, so I know there's still people out there that haven't converted or burnt their town into Gala. So if you're still waiting, stop waiting. It's a flat rate, so just do it. Let me know if you need help. September 15th. That's all I got.
That's coming soon, guys. So please advise everyone you know that may have town still to do that quickly. And then social media update.
Yeah, just some cool memes and videos is always coming through. Seeing some really good jobs with tutorials. I really like seeing the community helping out each other so much. So yeah, keep it up with the Zealy. And if you haven't checked it out yet, be sure to be sure to head over there. And you can also claim some XP right now for just attending this AMA. So you might want to grab some of that while you can. Additionally, too, I'm looking into creating some more 3D visual content, maybe using some Townstar assets. I would like to definitely try to introduce some more video content to the social medias. And I just got access to a couple of the 3D models just recently. So, I fired up Unity and was messing around with some stuff with it. And I know Volcron actually saw some of the videos I made. I was making them dance around. So we might have some more content, some different content, heading your way too. But that's mostly it from me.
Yeah, I saw that video and I was like cracking up. Anything to share
Yeah, it
with
was
the community
good.
or not yet? Daniel? Sorry, Ninja Surprise, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Why?
Anything to share or not yet?
I literally just shared.
Oh, nice. Got it.
All right, awkward.
Okay, let's move forward.
All right, let's
Share it
move
on Discord? No, I thought. Are you going to share a video or no?
Oh nah, they could go to the
Oh,
socials.
okay.
I'm not taking that traffic away. They could go to the socials and check that stuff out.
Okay, please
Ooh,
link it in
okay.
Discord when you can.
Got it.
Yeah.
But somebody did say, who was it? Did you say something about getting credits by attending the XP for attending the AMA? What does that mean?
Oh, that's
Lost
from the
tours.
Zealy board. That's from the Zealy. I can
There you
link
go,
that.
guys.
Yeah, everybody go
Right.
check out Zealy if you haven't already. It's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So, Farmer Mitchell, what's coming up next?
Oh, I think we're going to take a second to talk about what other games we play and how much we like them. I'm going to go first.
Awesome.
So lately, I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight. I don't know how many of you
What?
other people out there play
Vicious.
Dead by Daylight. I only play a survivor. I'm not a killer.
Do you have any top memories? Like, what's the scariest enemy in that?
I think it's Michael Myers. He's kind of creepy. The way
Yeah.
he sneaks up on you. And then that from Saw, that whatever that is, that
Mhm.
sneaks around in that game and just, I don't know, steals me off of generators and when I'm hiding in lockers, which I do a lot of, hiding in lockers.
Nice.
So I don't know how many of you other people out there play that game. It's a pretty easy game to figure out. It's like generators versus hooks, which doesn't mean anything to you if you've never played the game before. But the premise of the game is just super easy. It's 2 teams. It's 1v4. But there's just so many other intricate details of how to play the game, like hiding and looping killers and making sure that you are doing the right thing at the right time, making sure you're taking care of your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun game. I've been spending probably too much time playing it. I should probably be sleeping instead. Who wants to go next?
Nice. I'll go real quick. I've been playing a lot of Satisfactory. There's some echoes of Townstar in there, right? You got to optimize your routes, and yeah, it's really addictive. I enjoy it. It's 3D. That's pretty much all I would say about it. I enjoy it.
Okay. What about que será? What do you like, man?
Well, I usually prefer games kind of like Townstar, which are pretty hardcore. I think my most favorite game of all time was XCOM, and the game that I've played the most is probably Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I actually checked. I have played that game for over 4,700 hours. Like that means I've spent half a year just playing that game.
That sounds
So
like a
I
good
really
half a
love that
year.
game. It was super fun. It was super fun, and I still remember one of my proudest achievements, at least the one that made me really happy at the time, was getting top 10 in the world in Hearthstone. I managed that a couple of times, so that was super amazing. Who's next?
You think Ninja Surprise? What's yours?
The last game that I was playing a lot of was Tears of the Kingdom, and that came out for Switch, and it was really, really fun. It had so much to just explore, and being like a Zelda fan myself, I played Breath of the Wild, and I thought that was really fun. But just adding like this whole building mechanic to it really just enriched the game so much more. And like I just spent time just creating like little cars or trucks or like planes, and you could just like fly around. Like there's so much that you could do with the game. But yeah, I mean, like I typically like those more like 3D adventure type games or like crafting games, and this just had like the best of both worlds in it.
I still need to play that one. Haven't played it yet. Play the first one. It's really good. For me, it's all Japanese RPGs. That's my main jam, like Final Fantasy, Xenogears, Xenosaga, those kind of things. But what really drove me to Townstar when Sage asked about coming to work here was that once a year I dust off my Super Nintendo and SimCity, the SimCity version of Super Nintendo, and I play like for a month. I play around with it. I really love it. It's my favorite version still.
Oh wow.
When I saw Townstar, I was like, oh, this is kind of like SimCity. It's not completely other, like it's very different. But the city building aspect of it really drove me here. So
Hmm.
that's mine. Um, okay, so if you guys want to share your favorite games there in Discord, I would really like to know what you guys play apart from Downstar. And now we should move on to what Farmer Michelle. What's up next?
I think we're gonna do some art updates. We have art to drop in the chat.
Yes. Yes. Let me drop it in there. I was just making sure I wasn't muted. So what I want to do is just take you guys real quick through kind of a classic week. Share a couple of pieces here in order. And just fire those right up, and so you can see the progression as we go through that. And then I'll talk about it after they all get shared there. And forgive me, I'm on a slow internet connection again today. But here we go. Okay. Okay, so we've got a couple of them coming through now. And these what happens. Gina, our team work on art, and each day we have a quick art review. And you can see, I shared these in order so you can see. So they'll be on Monday. You'll see the one with Santa there and Lolly and everybody, the sheep and the turkeys. And we'll give feedback and comment on that. And then we'll see the next day another update, so you can see that one that has all the silos on it and the haunted mansion. And then when you go back, you see the epic sugar storage in the background. You go, wow, that's pretty giant looking. And then when you look at the next image, for example, you could see, wait, that epic sugar storage has been reduced, resized a bit. You can see the haunted mansion has been changed up a little bit as we're working with the sizes there. And then you can see some of the new characters being introduced there. The rancher and the sushi chef. And as we get down to that last image there, you can see some of the work we're doing on the sizing of stuff in the game. The wizard building specifically, man, those guys are just massive. And so we're working on trying to bring them down to, get a little bit more compact, a little bit cleaner in the size, so you don't have to rotate your camera and scroll around, just to try to get to what's behind it, right? And then now I want to pop this one up about the sushi chef, because you can see one of the transitions that we're doing there, with the hair. Like I think I mentioned last week, looks a little too Mickey Mouse-ish when you have those ears. So we've updated it, simplified a little bit, and dropped it in there. And you can see the pigtails, or whatever you call those, are a little bit cleaner. But effectively, when you get to, zoomed out, regular game board size, it's really going to be hard to tell the difference on details. So we try to simplify those down too. Tomato farm got an update. I'm going to just go pop a couple more things in there. There's a graveyard coming up next. Wanted to share, when you look at the graveyard, the one picture shows, wow, that gravestone is right on top of the tree. And so we wanted to shift that a bit, and also wanted to make sure it looked, decent size scale next to the farmhouse. You can see that work. And the last little thing we're dropping here is the elf foreman, for you guys to be able to see that again. So art's progressing on. I think I saw somebody, what are you flying, like, hey, don't work on art, get the game stable or something like that. We've talked about this for weeks, multiple times. The art team is working in parallel to the engineering team, and we're about ready to put the art that you've been seeing, we've been showing you, into the game for everybody to play with, into the live game. We've got it on a staging build right now. Okay, that's it. That's all I got for art there, guys.
I'm really happy we changed the sushi chef, because I don't want to cross the House of the Mouse.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Although I did just see a TV announcer this morning, actually, on the news show that had hair like that. Very much like mouse ears topping off the top, but
Oh, he's
it's a
getting
style,
sued
I
for
guess.
sure. Yeah.
I guess it's a style. I don't know.
Okay, so thank you for that. Yeah, the art resale is a parallel effort, guys. We were actually setting up some tools for faster check on that, and we were hoping to release some of that this week. We couldn't make that happen because of other commitments with Fast Forward, but it's coming out as soon as possible. Cool. Farmer Michel, what's next?
Let's talk about some game updates. Probably want to start with Fast Forward. I see people in chat are already asking about Fast Forward, so might as well jump right in.
Yeah. Well, as everybody who's been tuning in for weeks or months knows, it was a long road. There was a lot of technical hurdles, and then kind of the final, I don't know, icing on the cake or whatever last week was, it was going fine, but people were reporting, hey, it works fine, but it's just not accurate. Which, as a player, you're like, it's not working fine. Technical reason was, you gotta balance how much CPU you're burning versus the results that'll make the game accurate enough to be, good enough for most of us. So you don't want it one-to-one real time. But the womp womp was, yeah, we fixed it. We improved the sim rate, or increased it. So you got more resolution. So the fast forward event is faster and more accurate. Or sorry, not faster. It's more accurate. The trade-off is it's slower because it has to be more accurate. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. It was a relatively easy fix. We just had to test the heck out of it and make sure that that was the fix we wanted to release. So yeah, fast forward update.
Okay, so that's good. So people can now be sure that when they use fast forward, it's going to be accurate. It's going to be slower, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I also saw questions before that said, "Oh, fast forward updates might down automatically by the end of the competition." No, that's not in yet. That's something that we're planning for. After a couple things that we're going to mention here. So if you want your town to be updated to last minute when the competition ends, it needs to be on. Right, so please be aware of that. You gotta go into your town before the competition ends for it to be updated. After that, I'm gonna mention some fixes this week. So things that you may have noticed, or maybe you didn't notice, but you can check out now, is that we have proximity effect parity with Town Star Legacy regarding both biomes and edges, like what we call super tiles. right? So, for example, Oceans were just providing salty, if I'm not mistaken. So now it provides both salty and sandy, as it did before. And the desert super tiles give the correct sandy all around, which is three sandy from the edge. And also the desert biome, when your town is a desert, now has correctly three sandy in every single tile. So you can check that out. That's all up to date. But the also important thing, geared more towards new players, is that we added a description for that in the town setup screen. So when you go to a new town and you get that little thing that says, here's the biome and the four super tiles, you can click the information button and you will see a little description that says exactly what proximity effects are being provided, both by biomes and edges. So I think that's really cool, and I think it's super useful for new players. And that's how little by little we are improving the game for newcomers. We want to do a lot of new changes also to, how proximity effects are understood inside the town. So be on the lookout for that. Apart from that, we had an issue with shadows. You know that when you zoom out, shadows were cut off. It was really ugly. We fixed that, and now it looks beautiful, in my opinion. Like you can see all the glory of your town at any zoom level. So that's great. But we also had some internal fixes that you may not notice. There are a bunch of stability issues that are fixed every single release. So, Vulcan, what about some things that players may not know about but are going into the game?
Oh, sure. It warms my heart to see how many players actually notice when we when we address stability, because it's one of those important but invisible tasks that devs have. Yeah, one of them was there was an annoying thing where you'd be shown the spinning T correctly when you connected, if like you hit a server that was full or there was a legit network connection, but then you would be taken to the main menu anyway, and the spinning T would go away, and that was confusing. So we fixed that. Um, Fortunately, the number of times that you'll actually see the spinning T has been reduced. More disconnect work, more better routing work. They simplified our team simplified the stars logic even further. Sometimes, despite your best efforts as a team full of really talented people, sometimes, believe it or not, the one area will grow in complexity in the code, and it happens, right? So we've been simplifying that. I know it was a bit of a bumpy road. More work on that to make it more simple and maintainable. Fixed a couple network retry bugs, and we're improving our telemetry even more. This is something players definitely can't see, but in order to run a live game, you have to be able to kind of X-ray, hey, what's going on in a different environment, QA or production, and you need tools and you need so-called telemetry, like little bits of the code that expose how the game's running, to be able to do that. So added some more telemetry, and then there were other things like, as you all noticed, there were some massively huge numbers up in the above the 2 billion range that were not being accounted for. There's too few bits to represent it, so we fixed things like that. And yeah, that's a lot of the stability fixes this week.
All right, and then on to some changes, some other changes that you may have noticed. For features, we added the store search. I know that we announced it last week. We released it that afternoon. It's pretty good. I think that we still have some tweaks to do to it, but you can go into your PC right now into the game and search, I don't know, like wind turbine, and you'll get all, or wind, and you'll get everything related to wind in a single screen. So it's much easier to find what you're looking for in the store. The idea is to at some point add that functionality also to the inventory, to the NFT inventory, so you can find what you're looking for more easily. Also, we added loading screens going in and out of towns. You may have noticed, as we've said before, that we have um, the updating your town model, where you see exactly what percentage is going for, and that's pretty handy too. And then for data, we added the Sushi Bowl competitions and test competitions. And something that I wanted to announce here is that from now on, for every single competition that starts on a Tuesday, we'll have a test competition running from Saturday to Monday. So that's going to be a standard going forward every week. So in Friday's release, you can expect to see, after that release, you can expect to see a test competition for 2 days, and then the main competition starting on Tuesday. I hope that that's helpful for everybody, so you can practice and know exactly what's, like practice your builds, check out your towns, and be ready for the main competition. And that's for our updates. Farmer
There's a
Michelle,
lot.
back to you.
Let's move on to what's coming up next week.
What's coming up next? So we have a huge release coming out today. Has a bunch of things going for it. Main thing that you may notice pretty soon is that we'll add the silver ore storage, which is the July retention NFT, right? So that will go out soon. We also have a couple of rewards, blueprints, right, that are also ready to go out. Um, in well, as always, we have stability fixes and something related to next week's meta and sale items that I cannot say yet, but guess that I will give us all the information in a minute. So, Bullcrun, what about your stuff?
Yeah, like we mentioned before, stability, more and more of that. Adding more and more tests, for things that we have to do every time we do a release, proximity effect checks, run speed, things like that. Um, that's really important. And then Gala Chain, of course, we're adding, as we mentioned earlier, more testing and tooling on that, more integration, and nodes. We want, can I drop the well. I'll
Yeah,
just say
we'll talk
nodes
about nodes.
progress.
Yeah, so we
There we
are.
go.
That's the old Tom Holland that we know,
That's
right, and
right.
love.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have notes coming. We'll have a little bit more information in the Q&A. So that's right. So stability as always, right? Gala chain, as we have mentioned before, it's ongoing, and notes are coming relatively soon. I think we're missing a couple of things. There's a bunch of things coming to the game. The main one being, I mentioned it just now in Discord, is the FTUE. And someone said, "What's FTUE?" Like that means first time user experience, right? So basically, there's a question: what are we doing for new users? Well, like we can't just bring in the users where the game is not really. It's very cryptic, right? So we had two steps before trying to get more people in. One was make the game available in mobile, and as you can see, we delivered on that promise. The game is very, very playable, especially now in conjunction with Fast Forward. It's very playable in mobile. The next step is to add a little bit of first time user experience, right? So it's like a light tutorial. You'll see it soon enough, and that will introduce the players a little bit more gracefully into the mechanics of the game. So that's in the works. I'm expecting it to be soon, ready soon, like maybe 2 weeks or something like that. Okay, so we should move then on to what's next, Michelle.
Q&A.
Q&A. Okay, so I see your first question is when Galachain?
Yeah.
When Galachain? So last week I think we said 4 to 5 weeks. Our estimate remains. We're working on it actively, which means that now we're around 3 to 4 weeks out. When we do the switch, we expect to start producing the new NFTs in Galachain instead of ETH. We'll have a plan in place for bridging. Like it won't be necessary immediately. So we'll work on that and work with you guys on that. But all new NFTs, you should expect them to be in Gala Chain, the chain formerly known as Geary. So that's Gala Chain. We're still on track. What else? What other questions do we see?
The next question I have is stars in casual mode ?
Right. Okay. So we have mitigated a little bit the need for stars in casual mode by introducing the test competitions that run from Saturday to Monday. But we're still working on stars on casual mode. We have an engineer working on it. We're not sure when it will go out, but as soon as we have it, it will be released and you will start seeing stars there. So that's coming. But in the meantime, you can use the test competition to gather information how many stars you're producing and so on. I see that there are next question is earnings, right? Earnings when is going to be earnings? When earnings announced? is earnings coming back? I can answer that yes. I don't know who wants to take up the information
Let me
on
jump
earnings.
in. I'll jump in a little bit.
Go ahead.
Okay, you can hear me, right? Talking about the light paper, getting it out, the model getting finished. It looks like we have a model that's good. I'm asking the team to do a little stress testing on the thinking behind it. Tell me about the assumptions that we're making, and help me have more confidence that it's going to end up where we want it to end up. So that is, we keep talking about it coming soon, and we keep talking about measuring twice and cutting once. We're very close. I anticipate, if the meeting that we have today goes well, we'll be talking about it next week. Might take a little bit of time to write the paper up exactly and get all that done. That's something that Bitbender does for us. It makes it all pretty and nice and everything like that. So coming very, very soon. And as I said before, it's very exciting. It's I'm excited by the work that Que Sera Sera and the rest of the team are doing in putting this together.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to that because it ties into the next questions that we're getting from the forum, which is nodes. I'm really excited about nodes. We've been ideating about that. So thank you, Sage, for the update. We are working actively in the light paper, and earnings are coming back. That's why we're moving to to Gala Chain and doing a bunch of stuff. So yes, we will bring it back. Now the questions around nodes is, have been hearing proposal for nodes, but have never been mentioned if they will earn again. I can answer that right now. We are working on both things together, right? So light paper and tokenomics and nodes, because we want those nodes to get a piece of whatever it is that how it's going to work in the new economy. So they will earn by providing services to the game and also provide utility. Over here is about adding utility. Will they keep earning? Yes. Please an update on TS nodes. I have an update if you want to hear it. I think Tom Holland here almost jumped the gun, but the first the first thing we're gonna do is so just so you know, the things that is confirmed and actually being worked on right now or for the past week is IPFS. So what does that mean? So Volker mentioned that most of the game assets are baked in. So that's where you get like a big, you get an update and you get a new client. But we have a few things that are being served remotely. I don't want to say what because it could affect, like some bad actors might try to catch it. But there are some things that are being served remotely, and what we want to do is put those things in people's nodes, right, as IPFS, right? So what we'll do is say, well, if you have your node up and running for a certain period of time, every week or every month or whatever, right? You will get a piece of a certain distribution or allocation of a reward. And what those nodes will be doing is serving those assets and that data to other players, which is a service that the nodes will be providing to the game and to the players, right? So that's the first thing we're doing. Your nodes will be serving files to the game, and that will be rewarded. Then the next thing we're going to do with nodes is guilds, right? So we have guild functionality lined up. We want people to be guild masters and have guild members work together, have exclusive functionality for guilds. And that's still, so we have the design for that. I don't want to share too much, but I can say that guilds will get some awesome rewards and also new functionality that is exclusive to them. So that way the node owner, the guild master, can share that functionality and those rewards with whoever he sees fit, right? So we're very excited about that. But the first thing that we have already in the works is IPFS. And that's the update on nodes. Are there any questions around that? Comments? Guys, I know that some people wanted more information on nodes.
I didn't really see any questions while you were talking. It seemed like people were just messing around with memes.
Oh, sorry. Am I too boring? Oh, it's super clear so far. What do you think, Citizen X? What do you think about a head-to-head competition mode of Downstar? Um, I mean, head-to-head. Do you mean like 1v1 or guild versus guild? Those are things that we can plan for later. Right now, we want the guild functionality to be in because all of that ties also um, into the tokenomics model. So again, this is a big effort mixing both the tokenomics model, the light paper, earnings, and nodes. And that's why we're making sure that it's as good as possible before we put it out. Okay. Oh, I hear some heavy breathing.
Sorry, that was probably me. It's the new cats. They're just driving me crazy. One of them tried to knock over my laundry hamper, which would have been a mess.
I get that. I have mine here really angry with me because they haven't eaten in the last minute. Cool. So what's next? What other questions do we have?
I have a question here that says, can we get? Oh wait, Vox. We're moving on to Vox. There's no question about Vox. It just says Vox.
It just says box.
Let's see. When are Vox coming back to earn? When play to earn resumes? The answer to that is yes. There's a whole chart right in the FAQ channel, which I can pull up and post in the Discord again in case anyone is missing it. But that has all the information on what Vox will earn in terms of town points when it does start back up. So Vox will continue to earn. That hasn't changed. And then Vox earnings in town are important. Why have they not been reintroduced after all this time? Which is just because the earning model hasn't been reintroduced yet. I don't know if anyone else has anything to say about Vox or if there are any other specific questions about Vox.
Yeah, just to reiterate here, whatever town points a given earning NFT was giving, especially for Vox after the revamp model on January, I think, those town points will remain, right? So we're not touching that, right? So if your earning NFT was providing a certain amount of town points, expect that to be true after we turn earnings back on. So Box, as far as I know, they don't provide any other functionality in the game except to have town points. So that's why we haven't, we're working on it, but we expect to have that back in the game when we turn the new model on, so that they can earn too. So yeah, just working on that. That's part of the Gala chain work that we're doing too, by the way. What's next?
Oh, the next question I have is about the trade timer and the building status bars for storages. Do we have any idea when those features might get started or get put in?
I'm not sure. I mean, I saw someone posting in Discord about the trade timer for tracks. I think that's a great idea. I would put it in like you can have multiple trade units, right? So I think that should be in a per trade unit basis that you could see that, like how long it's taking. I think that's a good idea, but we don't have it in the plan. So I'll add it to our backlog to see if we can fit it in, because it doesn't sound too complicated and it could be really useful. The status bar, I think that we asked around and like not many people were using it before, but we can talk about that too. Those are not hard lifts. We just have too many other things going on, so we'll see. Those are good ideas.
And then the last question I have here says, when will Townstar be moved out of beta? And I was informed when asking this question.
Do you want to say it or you want me to say
You
it,
can
Michelle?
say it.
No, you say it.
Gmail was actually in beta for 5 years, in case anyone is curious. So we've only had this game launched for maybe 4 months now that it's been launched and in beta. I realize that the old legacy version of Townstar was also in beta for a long time, but this is a whole brand new game, which I've explained in the chat before. It's a whole new code base, it's a whole new language, it's a whole new engine. It may look very similar to you as a player, facing the game forward, but it is a completely different game, from the ground up, brand new, just trying to copy an old game, which is difficult. So, it's only a couple months old. It is still in beta. And as a reminder, Gmail was in beta for 5 whole years.
Farmville was in beta for a couple of years too, I think. So precedence for it.
So no, there's no official timeline on when Townstar will be removed from beta.
I mean, in my opinion, we will never stop building on it, right? Like improving it and adding new features, right? So maybe never. Like it's always an ongoing effort, and I think that's cool, right? Because it's a commitment to keep working on this game. So no removing beta yet. What next, Farmer Mitchell?
Let's move on to some live Q&A. I tried to capture some questions while we were talking earlier. The first one I got was how much mobile update is done as of now, and how far are we from having an app?
So as far as I know, the Android version is pretty much done for mobile browser support. It's working really like flawlessly. The iOS version has one issue where the graphics look a little fuzzy. So we may look into that, but other than that, it's also working functionally, right? You have the aspect ratio, and it's working great, right? So the fuzziness aspect needs to be worked on. The app, it's something that we want to do, but we want to do earnings and nodes and all these other things more. So we'll try to find a balance and find a roadmap to get the apps. But for now, you can be confident that you can get into the game through your mobile browser, and you can play the game. And actually, I've been doing that all week, late at night, and it works great for me. Um, but yes, apps at some point. What other questions do we have?
The other live question I gathered, I forget who it was from, but it was asked twice, was would it be possible to play the game without a Gala account? I think it would make the game a lot more accessible and appealing for everyone who is not involved in Web3. I will say that we used to do that with the Townstar Legacy game back when I first started playing. You didn't need to have an account to play the game, and it got a little confusing because then people would not make an account, play the game, do well, and they wouldn't be able to get rewards, and then they would be upset because they weren't able to get rewards because they didn't have a wallet, and there was a big like disconnect and confusion, and people were getting upset. So we removed that ability, and now you have to have a wallet. That way you can get rewards when you play the game. So that is the reason that you cannot play the game without an account.
But it's still a good point. So maybe there's a way to make that work. We'll think about that.
Yeah, definitely. If we can find a solution to like a temporary wallet or a holding place or some other way to do that, that would definitely be cool. It would help us get, into Web 2 a little bit more and get more players who don't need to make accounts. Though you don't need to set up a wallet when you initially make your Gala Games account either. You still have the treasure chest. You literally just have to make a username and password at app.gala.games, which shouldn't be that difficult for even a Web 2 game player.
Okay. I think that we are a little behind schedule, especially with the late start. So why don't we move on to the sale items? Que será? Are you there, or you still have like a robot burping around you?
Okay, so my internet connection is really bad. Like if I do
I
get disconnected,
Okay. It's sounding good now. So
okay,
please go ahead
okay,
and tell us what's coming up Monday.
yes, let me continue. Oh wow, someone already put a leak on the. Okay, so we this week we have not one but six different NFTs coming to Townstar. They come with 7 different units. We have a whole family of 7 banners entering Townstar, starting with Rose and Lily. They are the youngest in the family, and these twin daughters move faster than normal banners. The supply would be 1,000. It will be priced at $50. Next up, we have Cooper. We have 3 different brothers, each specializing, one in copper, one in silver, and one in gold. First up, we have Cooper, who specializes in copper, and he provides one passive copper ore to all your forges. He also moves 50% faster than a normal banner, and the supply would be 200, and the price at $90. Next up, we have Sylvester, similar to Cooper, but he provides one passive silver ore to the forges. And finally, we have Goldie, who provides one passive gold ore to your forges. And I completely forgot we have such amazing art done for this. Let me share that too. There you go. But that's not it. Next up, we have the Papa banner. he adds a panel unit to all your houses. That means your in-game panel houses as well as your NFT panel houses. The same unit will be added again to that house. There you go. And
Those are looking
finally,
cool.
after a while, super cool. And finally, after a while, we have an ancient item, the Mama Panner. She's the fastest and most efficient of all the panners, and she makes the whole family better. I'll go into detail as to how. She will pan, like she not only moves 75% faster than all the other panners, she will pan twice as much ore. That means she will pick up 2 ore instead of just one. And if you have the entire family placed on the board, she will pen thrice as much ore at once. And let me just, damn, let me just post. Okay, for some reason, yes.
So I was sharing the images in
Next,
Discord.
yes, thank you so much. So now how does she make the whole family better? Let me go into detail on that. If you have the mama panner, then the twin daughters will make all your panners move 50% faster, not just themselves. If you have a Cooper, Sylvester, and Goldie, they will reduce the crafting time of their respective panning sites by 50%. If you have Papa Panner, he will also add a unit to all your forges, not just your panner houses. So what's going in store this week? We will not have everything going into store this week. They will be released over the next 3 weeks. But this week, we will have 4 different items coming into store. First would be Rose and Lily. They will come at a discount of 20%, so they'll be priced at $40. Next, we would have the Panner Brothers. They will come as a pack. The total price would be $370, but they'll be discounted to $300. And I forgot to mention earlier, the Panner Brothers have a set effect as well. If you have all the 3 brothers, your Panner houses will cast no shade. Then we have the entire family, the whole pack. There'll be only 20 of these, and it will be priced at $1,800. And finally, we'll only have 10 supply of Mama Panner, which will be priced at $1,500, no discount. That's all we have. Going back to Michelle.
Awesome. I think that we're probably talking about the next competition now. Everybody wants to know what the next meta is. I assume you figured out that it's probably jewelry. It is in fact jewelry. There are going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new crafts coming into the game with the update today. The meta item that you're going to be making is called a golden heart necklace. That ingredients for that are going to be 5 silver jump rings, a lobster clasp, and a heart pendant. Heart pendant's going to be made in a foundry. That one's going to involve a heart print, some copper, and some golds. The heart print you're going to make in the pottery shop, which is exciting. I saw earlier today some people asking about integrating other parts of Townstar into jewelry so that it's not just jewelry. So this week we will be introducing some pottery shop crafts. So the heart-shaped pendant we made in the pottery shop is going to be 2 clay lumps, 2 energy, and a strawberry to make it look like a heart. We're also introducing sterling silver into the game, so that'll be made in the foundry. So will the sterling silver jump ring, and the sterling silver will be made from 1 copper and 1 silver. And we're going to change the ingredients for the lobster clasp, so that'll now be 1 sterling silver jump ring, 1 copper jump ring, and a silver wire, I believe. I will make sure that all that information is accurate, and we'll post it shortly after this AMA in a nice list for everyone to see. The reward for this week will be, or this coming week, will be the Hasty Foundry Blueprint, which will speed up your foundry workers, similar to the way the other Hasty Blueprints have worked so far. The biome will be Forest North with no oil seep. It'll have 1 ocean side and 1 river side. The ocean will be on the east and the river will be on the west. The cash boost this week is gold. It'll be cash boosted at 6,200 in-game cash. The
So we have a
trade
gold rush.
Yeah, we're gold rushing for golden heart necklaces this week. So let's see here. Trade timer is going to be 240 seconds. It's a long one, so get those UFOs out. But it's still 1 gas. As a reminder, the storage NFT for playing this month in August is the gold ore storage. So keep playing. Get yourself a rare gold ore storage. We play 25 days.
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention that we worked on this, this new craft, the golden heart necklace, as a team, and we said like, what people, what other things we can tie into jewelry. So that we have the strawberries, the pottery shop. You need to create an imprint for building the actual pendant. I think it's pretty cool. I hope you guys really like it, and I'm really proud also of the art and the design for the Panther family. So great job, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys like it. And I think that's it, right? Unless we have any outstanding questions from the community.
That's all I have. But I wasn't really watching for questions while I was talking because I was reading.
And I'm getting I'm getting a whisper in my ear like and subscribe, guys. So please like and subscribe the channel. I know that you most probably here in Discord, but this is also being put out in YouTube. I see a last question here: selling a physical cards in toy stores. This is from Rocket Unit. The cards will be like hardware with NFTs on it, so children getting the Town Star toys will be able to use the cards to enter the game. You mean like an amiibo? That sounds pretty awesome. Like I would really love to get to that point. But yeah, like physical media. I'm all about physical media, so having actual toys from our amazing art. That would be a dream. And another question was, what's the cash boost? We mentioned it's gold. So Gold Rush out there next week. You'll have the competition out this afternoon. It will start tomorrow. Saturday will run until Monday if you want to test things out. And the sale is going to be Monday. So, yeah, if there's no more questions, I think that's it for this week's AMA.
Awesome.
Cool. Remember to like and subscribe, guys. Again, never thought I'd say that myself, but and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, team. And we'll go back to today's release. Expect that later today.
Thanks,
Thanks so
everybody.
much. Awesome, everybody.
Good to see
Thank you.
everybody out there.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.